What up, YouTube? It's your boy Vince Rashad, and I know this video is several weeks, if not almost a whole month, late. About 3 weeks ago, we saw the much anticipated fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And I did a video maybe about 3 months before that fight predicting that Pacquiao may outpoint Floyd Mayweather. But I also noted in my pre-fight video that if Floyd Mayweather made it to about the 5th or 6th round, then chances are he had figured out Manny Pacquiao's style. He had overcome the flurries, which never came, to my surprise, and that it's highly likely that if Pacquiao won after the 5th or 6th round, it would have to be by a late round knockout. But I also predicted that Manny Pacquiao would outpoint Floyd Mayweather. I said that my heart was with Floyd Mayweather, but if I had been betting before that fight, I still maintain that I probably would have betted on Manny Pacquiao. With that said, I'm going to say this. You Manny Pacquiao fans, you Pac-tards, y'all are some in denial, hating, Floyd Mayweather hating ass people. Because I'm going to say this right here. I couldn't have predicted, I'm not going to say in a million years, but I couldn't have predicted in 1,000 years that Manny Pacquiao was going to fight the way that he did. This dude looked confused. He looked flustered. It looked like he just didn't know what was going on. And I'm going to be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist and step out on a branch and say something in just a minute. But like I said, I expected, you just couldn't have told me that he was going to throw fewer punches than Floyd Mayweather. I figured that Manny Pacquiao would probably throw 40 to 60% more punches than what Floyd Mayweather threw. But I guess a key thing you got to consider is that Floyd Mayweather, with all his money, he bought out one of Manny Pacquiao's trainers, one of his ex-trainers before the fight. So he got his strategy down packed. And one thing that I said is that whenever you bounce and punch, like Manny Pacquiao does, it's kind of like a dancing style. And as Floyd Mayweather noted after the fight, Floyd Mayweather's footwork was a whole lot better. And what wound up happening is that bouncy style of punching in which a rhythm, Manny Pacquiao relies very heavily on a rhythm that he has to fight within to establish, a series of punches. And he never developed that rhythm. He stood there literally flat-footed the entire night. And after about the 3rd round, I said to myself that if he's going to stand there flat-footed, he's going to lose this fight. As Roy Jones noted, you can't fight Floyd Mayweather just going straight down the tunnel flat-footed. I was looking at the fight, and I was just noticing in around about the 3rd or 4th round that Manny Pacquiao just looks like he's doing everything that Floyd Mayweather could just dream for and hope for. He's standing straight in front of Floyd. And the boo-hoo-hoo and the wah-wah-wah from the Manny Pacquiao fans, they started making excuses before the fight even got started. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm going to say this. I am critical of one thing when it comes to the performance that I've seen. I think that both of these guys could have mixed it up a whole lot more. They could have made this fight a little bit more exciting than what it ended up being. This fight was an absolute, it was a sleeper. The fight was boring. I ordered it, but, I watched it with like 5 more people, and, I charged everybody like $20. So I actually made a little bit more than what I paid for it because I ordered it early. So I only paid $89. Charging 5 guys, like $20 a piece. I basically didn't pay for it, you might as well say. But, it was a boring fight, I'm not going to deny that. But within that same statement, I'll say this. If you watch Floyd Mayweather fight for the last 10 to 12 years, you already know how Floyd Mayweather fights. It wasn't on Floyd Mayweather's shoulder to come out and do anything any different than what he always does. Because whether you hate him or love him, one thing that you have to give to Floyd Mayweather is that he is very extremely disciplined. He's disciplined. Part of what happens whenever you get fighters who build up a good record, let's say 30-0 or 30-0-1 or something like that, at some point in time before fight 40 or fight 45, they break their discipline and they wind up getting caught. They wind up getting mixed up. And it only takes a couple of bad rounds to end up losing a fight. One bad round, really. I mean, you can get hit. You can get rocked in the second or third round and wind up getting knocked out late or just never end up recovering from one punch. And Floyd Mayweather has just never had that happen to him. And it wasn't on him to do anything any different than what he typically does. Manny Pacquiao, if you listen to what the Manny Pacquiao fans said and many of the boxing analysis analyzers said, is that he is supposed to come out there. He's supposed to hit Floyd Mayweather with punches that Floyd ain't never seen. He's supposed to be such a southpaw that's supposed to confuse Floyd. He's supposed to just have more power, more energy, more everything than Floyd. With all intents and purposes, there were people that were making it seem like Floyd Mayweather wasn't going to make it halfway through this fight. And Floyd just stuck to his guns. He's a very defensive fighter, and one thing about defense is that defense is not fun to watch. It is not in any shape or way fun to watch. You can only sit there and look at the inability of the other person to not be able to get through it. And that really applies to all sports, whether it's basketball, football, baseball. A defensive team is not fun to watch, and what typically happens is that people eventually stop liking defensive sports. You know, as the saying goes, chicks dig the long ball. People would rather watch the Indianapolis Colts and Andrew Luck. They'd rather watch Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Everybody loved the living hell out of the 1999-2000 Rams, a.k.a. the greatest show on turf. Those were all good offensive teams. But one thing you got to remember is that all those teams had top 10 defenses that got overlooked. But people are just more thrilled. They're much more excited by an offensive output. You know, I think Floyd stepped to his guns, and I'm going to step out on a limb and say this right here. Something that I detected from Manny Pacquiao was this. Back during the Marquez fight where he got knocked out, you know, he did a couple of interviews on TV where he was crying because, you know, boxing and fighting and kickboxing is looked at totally different in that part of the world. You know, they're very big on honor and upholding the national name and the image. So when you're an international fighter and you lose, it looks bad. Manny Pacquiao is a politician. He's an actor. He's active in charity. He's a singer. He has a lot to lose. So what I predict and guesstimate is that psychologically within his head, he chose, what I detected and what I saw was that he chose to take an honorable loss. He somewhat detected and somewhat saw early in the fight that he wasn't going to be able to do to Floyd Mayweather what he done to so many other fighters. And that when that didn't work for him through about the third or fourth round, he just chose to just stick in there and just make it through the fight. And one thing that people will never ever give Floyd Mayweather credit for, you know, is that he lands at a rate of about, in that fight, he landed between 51 to 56% of his punches, and nearly half his punches, somewhere like 40 to 50% of those punches were power punches. Whenever you're getting hit like that, you're going to be, just like you saw with Manny Pacquiao and nearly everybody else, you're going to be very hesitant to step in. Your ass is going to get hit. You know, it's no less than a 50% chance you're going to get whopped in the face. The only way to really witness the genius of Floyd Mayweather is to look at his fights in slow motion. You see a much bigger picture when you look at his fights in slow motion. But like I said, something that I detected and saw is that if Manny Pacquiao somewhat, if he looked early in the fight, and if he bounced around, spot punched around, and if he didn't see a clear opening where he could unload with those flurries that he's known for, he just decided to back off, and that he didn't want to be knocked out again. He didn't want to be disgraced again, because being a politician in that part of the world, he could have all that stripped away from him. And although he's going to walk away with a large amount of money, honor is a very big thing in that part of the world, and he chose to take the honorable loss. But hats off to Floyd Mayweather. He says he's going to do one more fight in September. I don't care if you hate the man. You ain't got to give him his credit. But, you know, y'all Floyd Mayweather haters, y'all are taking credit away from a defensive genius and a guy who's going to go down as a legend in this sport. He's beat all top competition. In the last 10 to 12 years, the dude literally hasn't fought anybody outside of a top 2 or 3 competitor. You can't accuse him of ducking anybody. But I guess the last and final thing that I'll say is that, you know, both these guys are big winners at the end of the night. Because Floyd goes home with nearly $200 million and Manny Pacquiao about $120 million. So both these dudes are winners at the end of the night. But shout out to Floyd Mayweather, and a big giant F you to all the haters. Like I said, it wasn't up to Floyd Mayweather to do anything any different than what he's always done. Manny Pacquiao was supposed to do this. He was supposed to do that. But it didn't happen. And I know y'all are sick. Rocky Marciano, we coming for your record, white boy. Shout out, man, to Floyd Mayweather, money team all day, holla.